Hey everyone, welcome. This is Robyn and Cindy Unfiltered, and we've got a great podcast for you today. We're going to be talking about people at the breaking point, and we'll get into the details about that a bit later on. But first, I'm Cindy. I'm a therapist, a coach. I'm the author of More to Give, Stepping into Your New Life at Any Age, and someone who gives a lot of talks on mindset. And I'm doing this with Robyn.
Hi, I'm Robyn, and I'm a therapist and a coach. I'm the founder of the Boundary Club, and we all really need to set good boundaries. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today.
Yeah, we certainly are, because this is a topic at the brink of that has come up because we see a lot of clients. And one of the things that we've been noticing is that they're talking a lot about feeling stuck, where they've hit the wall. They're feeling unmotivated and they don't know what to do. Have you noticed that, Robyn?
I've had a lot of clients coming in who feel really that they're at a place in their careers and in their lives where they can't make decisions. They're feeling really stuck. And I think this is a real issue that I'm seeing quite a few people come in with.
And when you're working with your clients, what are they mostly feeling stuck around?
Yeah, a lot of them are feeling stuck around career decisions. They're feeling stuck around life decisions, or they're coming to a point where they want to change their lives, but they feel stuck. And so that's really, I think, the pivoting point for me. It's wanting to change, but not knowing how to do it and feeling stuck in the situation or the position that they're in. What about you?
I mean, I do notice that as well. And the thing that happens is, fortunately, we have people that will seek us out to get coaching on this. But if you're someone that isn't doing that, that you're going to be sitting there for a while and wondering, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm working really hard. I've been successful in the past. Why is it stopped now? So a lot of people thinking maybe my time's over. And then they spiral down into this kind of looping thought pattern of, I can't do it. My time is over. Or they start comparing themselves to others. They're all doing better than I am. This is my lot in life now. And they get to the point where they can't get out of that because they don't have the skills or the tools to know how to get out of that mindset. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And when I think people are stuck, sometimes it's setting good, solid boundaries with oneself. Sometimes we have to just take a stand and decide what we want to do next.
So if you're working, and I'll give an example for someone that I worked with as well, but just on the topic of boundaries, because I think that's such an important topic that people need help with. And I'm so glad that you started your club on this because people need to understand how to do that. So if you're working with a client and you're talking with them about boundary or getting, setting the boundary, getting past the boundary, what's one of the things that you recommend they can do to start getting them past this feeling of I'm on the brink of, I'm feeling stuck, etc.?
Yeah, I think it starts with kind of really knowing that we need to set some boundaries for ourselves and actually when you start to allow yourself into that space of restraint and understanding, like, I need to make certain decisions, and why do I need to make those decisions? And then it's thinking about, after you discover the why of why you need to make certain decisions, it's making those decisions and setting boundaries that that's the way I'm going to do things now. I'm going to decide why I want to change, and then I'm going to start taking action towards that change. And that's a boundary for me. And a boundary is around, some of boundaries are an act of self-care. That's also a boundary. So it's about thinking about the why. Why do I want to do these new things? Why are they important to me? And then taking a stand that I'm going to start to make some decisions and set some boundaries around how I achieve those things.
I love that. And you know what that makes me think of is that sometimes in any kind of work that people are doing, or I think we've both noticed in our practice of working with people, and particularly when they're feeling stuck, is that uncomfortableness with being uncomfortable. and and people are so quick to want to move out of that spot. And I know that a lot of the work that I do with people will say, so you feel uncomfortable, stick with that, and then go deeper and figure out, what is that saying to you? What can you learn from this? Because the more they try to rush past this, the more they lose that opportunity to find something out about themselves that could help them, and to understand that being uncomfortable, or another way of putting that would be out of your comfort zone, is all a part of growing. And when we were growing up, we did this all the time, but we didn't think about it as much. It's more that we're adults that we just don't like that feeling. And so I like to say to people, stay with that. It's okay. You don't have to keep moving all the time. Just stick with that and see what comes up. And let's work on the thoughts that are coming up. Because one of the things I work on with people is, we can't change the thoughts that our mind brings up to us. And this is, we were all about this because you and I both work in this area, that your mind dictates so much, but it doesn't have to, because these thoughts will come up, but you don't have to believe them. You don't have to listen to them. They come up anyway. You can't change it, but you can change your reaction to that. And I think for a lot of my clients that feel stuck, this is another thing that I work with them on straight away. You don't have to listen to that voice. What if you didn't think this way? How could the world open up to you if you reframed that? How about you?
I think that's so beautiful, Cindy. And you know, I think both of us and the work that we do really addresses this idea of sitting with discomfort. And I think that's really at the precipice of change, you know, understanding that discomfort is a part of life, and getting comfortable with discomfort allows you to make better decisions and set healthy boundaries. And so I think that runs through, you know, the work that we both do, but I think it's a really important starting point for change and transformation.
I couldn't agree more. And I think something else that is helpful for clients when they're feeling on the brink of or feeling on the edge of is that, pay attention to what your thoughts are. I often say to clients, keep a kind of thought diary and think about the negative thoughts that you have. Write them down. Is there something that triggers those thoughts? It could be an event. It could be that it just something that you think about all the time, but put it down. Keep track of this for a few days. Walk away from it. Then go back and pick out, say, the top 5 negative thoughts that you're saying to yourself all the time. Because we know that the more that you repeat that to yourself, the more it seems to become a reality, when all you're doing is kind of hypnotizing yourself by saying it all the time. And then by having that down on paper, I'll say, is that thought helping you? And I'll say, well, no, but it's how I feel. Okay, I don't want to care about how you feel about it. Is it helping you? How can you reframe that? How could you think something differently? And then I have them start practicing when they have that thought, the alternative thought they'd like to have. It's not easy at first. And again, they'll feel stuck. They might feel frustrated and all of those things. But then over time, if they stick with it, and this is a key thing, people really need to change, I believe, for us to be able to help them, because you can't get someone to move if they're not already motivated to do it. But if they keep doing that, it'll start to change a little bit the hold that these thoughts have of them, because they're reframing them.
Yeah, it's really important, the reframing part, and to getting people to look at the fact that every thought that you have is not true. It's just a thought. You know, a thought is just a sentence in your head, and understanding that every thought that you have is not necessarily the truth. And I think what you've just described is a very important step to transformation. And I love this whole idea that people are so attached to their feelings and not what's driving that feeling. It's like, I just feel this way. And so that for me comes to this point of taking a lot of emotional responsibility for what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and, you know, what actions you derive from all of that. And so when we start to take emotional responsibility for our thoughts and our feelings and our actions, we're taking the responsibility for it, and that gives us power rather than thinking people are doing certain things to us. we get to take responsibility for our thoughts and actions. So I think that's another really important element. And, I think, we've talked about these things, this whole idea of feeling stuck and what we think people need to do. And I love that you've given them some key, a key exercise in order to kind of play that forward. So that's great.
Oh, thanks very much. I think there's so much more we could talk about with this, but this is really what we wanted to showcase today and just give you some ideas if you're feeling this way, that here's some things that you can think about to help you get past that. So what we'd love for you to do is click like, subscribe to this, Robyn and Cindy, Unfiltered. Come back, listen to us again, because this is what it's all about. We want to help people. And we're going to be giving examples of the people that we work with, the trends that we're seeing, and how you can get past these things to have a more successful, happier life. Robyn, anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, thanks for joining us. And also, we have a lot of fun. So we hope you'll come back and a lot of laughter and join us next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.